Imagine a man walks into a bar and orders a mirror. Yes, you heard that right, a mirror, not a martini. His name, let's call him Narcissus. Now, this isn't your typical order, and the bartender understandably is more than a bit confused. But Narcissus, with a charming smile, assures him that it's not a joke. He just loves to admire himself, he says. This is a man so incredibly enamored with his own reflection that he chooses to spend his Friday night gazing at it, rather than catching up with friends or making new ones. Now, we've all met someone who loves to steal the spotlight, but Narcissus takes it to a whole new level. He's not just in love with the spotlight, he's in love with his own reflection in it. His extreme self-obsession is humorous, but it's also a perfect segue into our topic for today, narcissism. And so, our friend left the bar, mirror in hand, convinced he was the best customer they ever had. Did you know that the term narcissism comes from a Greek myth? It's a tale as old as time, or at least as old as ancient Greece. There was a handsome chap named Narcissus, a hunter known far and wide for his beauty. But oh boy, did he know it. His vanity was unparalleled. One day, Narcissus saw his own reflection in a pool of water and, captivated by his own beauty, fell deeply in love with it. Now you may be thinking, what's wrong with a little self-love? And you'd be right. It's crucial to love and value oneself. However, Narcissus's love for himself was so excessive that it led to his downfall. He was so entranced by his own reflection that he couldn't tear himself away. He refused food, drink, and the attention of others, simply staring at his reflection until he eventually faded away. A cautionary tale indeed. This story serves as a metaphor for the psychological concept we now know as narcissism. When we say someone is a narcissist, we're not just saying they're a little too fond of their reflection. It's about an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. It's about individuals who, like Narcissus, are so entranced by their own reflections that they forget to look beyond the surface. But don't be fooled. Narcissism isn't about having a high self-esteem or being self-confident. Those are healthy and positive traits. Narcissism is about an overblown ego that comes at the expense of others. It's about being so focused on oneself that others become mere objects in one's world, existing only to serve one's own needs and desires. The story of Narcissus reminds us of the dangers of excessive self-love and the importance of balance. It's okay to love and value yourself, but not to the point where you lose sight of the world around you. So, as we continue to explore this fascinating topic, remember, narcissism is more than just a pretty face. And like Narcissus, many narcissists are so entranced by their own reflections that they forget to look beyond the surface. Now, let's dive into some amusing facts about narcissism. You know those friends who can't help but bombard your social media feed with endless selfies? Yeah, you're guessing it right. Research shows that narcissists are more likely to take selfies and post them on social media. So if your friend's Instagram is flooded with their own face, there might be more behind that filter than just a love for Valencia or Juno. But don't rush to conclusions just yet. Narcissism isn't all about self-obsession. It's also about being obsessed with, well, being obsessed. Narcissists have a tendency to become fixated on anything that will make them feel special. This could be anything from a designer handbag, a high-powered job, or even a particularly shiny piece of aluminum foil. Yes, you heard it right. That's the level of obsession we're talking about. Now here's a funny fact. Did you know that narcissists are more likely to wear expensive, flashy clothing? That's right, they are all about making a statement. They typically want to be the center of attention. And what better way to do that than by wearing a neon pink suit or a diamond-encrusted watch? But hey, if you're a fashionista, don't worry. Loving a bit of sparkle doesn't make you a narcissist. It's all about the intent behind the bling. And speaking of intent, narcissists are notorious for their charm. They can be incredibly charismatic, making you feel like you're the most special person in the room. But beware, this charm is often just a tool used to win you over. It's like they have a secret manual titled, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Narcissist Edition. Let's talk about another amusing fact. Narcissists are more likely to choose mates who will enhance their own self-image. This means they are more likely to go for attractive, successful, or popular partners. So if you find yourself being pursued by someone way out of your league, they might not be after your heart, but your social status. Sounds like a plot twist from a romantic comedy, doesn't it? Now let's get a little scientific. Some studies suggest that narcissists have thicker eyebrows. Yes, you heard it right, thicker eyebrows. So if you're rocking the Cara Delevingne look, You might just have a touch of narcissism in you. But don't worry, we won't judge. Before we wrap up, here's the kicker. Narcissists are less likely to feel stress and depression. It's like they have a built-in Teflon coating that lets criticism and negative emotions slide right off. Imagine having that superpower. So next time you see someone taking a selfie, remember, they might just be a narcissist. Alright, now that we know what narcissism is, how do we handle narcissists in the wild? Well, imagine you're on a safari, and you've just spotted a wild narcissist in its natural environment, perhaps admiring its reflection in a pool of water. What do? Firstly, avoid the temptation to engage in an argument. It's like trying to win a wrestling match against an octopus. No matter how many tentacles you pin down, there's always another one ready to smack you in the face. Narcissists love to argue, and they're good at it. They've got an arsenal of deflections, denials, and distractions that can leave you feeling like you've just tried to play chess with a pigeon. You know, the one that knocks over all the pieces, poops on the board, and then struts around like it's won. Secondly, don't take their behavior personally. It's not about you, it's about them. Narcissists are like those funhouse mirrors at carnivals. They distort reality to suit their ego. So if a narcissist criticizes you, remember, it's like a donkey telling a peacock it's not colorful enough. It's a reflection of their warped perspective, not a statement of your worth. Thirdly, set boundaries. Narcissists push boundaries like a toddler with a new toy. They'll keep pushing until something breaks. So, build those boundaries like you're constructing a castle. It might not keep them out completely, but it will be much harder for them to storm the gates. Finally, remember self-care. Dealing with a narcissist can feel like trying to empty the ocean with a teaspoon. It's exhausting and never-ending. So, take time for yourself. Treat yourself to that bubble bath, that piece of chocolate cake, or that yoga class. Because you, my friend, are worth it. Remember, dealing with a narcissist is like trying to hug a porcupine. It's best to approach with caution. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned about narcissism. We've journeyed from a narcissist walking into a bar to understanding that there's more to them than just a pretty face. We've laughed at some funny facts and learned how to survive in a world where narcissism is all too common. Let's revisit the bar scene. Remember the narcissist who thought he was the life of the party? Well, it turns out he was just the life of his own party. And that, my friends, is the essence of narcissism. It's not about being self-confident or assertive. It's about being absorbed in one's own world to the point of excluding others. And yes, that pretty face. Narcissists do tend to be charming and attractive, but remember, beauty is only skin deep. Beneath the surface, there's often a lack of empathy and an overwhelming need for admiration. So, while they might dazzle you with their shine, don't forget to look beyond the glitter. We've also shared a chuckle or two over some funny facts about narcissism, like how narcissists are often the heroes of their own stories, or how they tend to see themselves as unique and superior. But don't be fooled. These aren't just eccentricities. They're signs of a deep-seated self-focus that can be harmful to relationships and personal growth. And let's not forget our survival guide. We've offered some tips on how to navigate the tricky waters of dealing with a narcissist. Remember to establish boundaries, practice self-care, and above all, don't take their behavior personally. So if you take nothing else away from this video, remember, mirrors are a narcissist's best friend. But don't let their reflection outshine your own. You are not the supporting cast in their one-person show. Until next time, keep your mirrors clean and your ego in check.